Hello and welcome back to Beer Geek Beer Reviews. Today I have a cider from my favorite cider company. This here today, look at Orchard's Edge. This is an old fashioned. It says that it is a aged on cherries, orange peel, and bourbon barrels. Interesting-ish to say the least. From the Angry Orchard Company, brewed probably in New York and Cincinnati. Explore the orchard, Walden, NY. For details, visit angryorchard.com. Let's see here. Production of the Angry Orchard Cider Company, LLC, an affiliate of the Boston Beer Company. Hmm? Hmm? Walden, NY, Cincinnati, and Binghamville, PA. Hmm? Hmm. Two locations that are Samuel Adams breweries. Anyway, let's pop a top and get it into this glass. I wanted to do more of a formalish kind of tasting. I know they, especially with that company, say that it's best joined or best enjoyed in a pint glass. But at the same time, I like to have mine the way that I like to have it. So here we go. Hmm. And I will set this off to the side and take a look-see. Very effervescent. It's got decent carbonation. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. You see the carbonation there. Amongst my black shirt. It's got that traditional clear golden light pear color, cider color. Very, very lovely with the carbonation. Definitely a sweet, sugary style apple, but it does have that oakiness from the barrels. It's almost got that fresh cider. You know, if you walk into an orchard, it's almost got that same aroma where you can smell the wood, you can smell the apples. I'm not getting too much for the cherries, so hopefully, I mean, they say cherries. Hopefully, it's in the drink. So let's go ahead and take a drink, shall we? Prost. Very mellow, very smooth. The apples aren't overbearing. You still get that front forward apple flavor. You do get a little bit of tart bitterness. It does remind me of their 750 milliliter bottle series, where I think those ones are aged on oak as well. Mm. It does, it's very good, but it leaves something to be desired. Excuse me, I'm gonna read the edges as the label. For any other thing, reminiscent of the old-fashioned cocktail, this cider is dried tart cherries, ish, California-grown navel orange peels, not so much. and charred bourbon barrels. The result is a fruit forward cider with a rich, complex aroma, smooth bourbon like finish. Now, let me assess here as I pour some more. No, this is not a Coke commercial. Anywho, it does have a nice smooth finish. I would assume if this concoction is aged in a bourbon barrel, I would say very lightly, maybe a couple weeks. You're not trying to pull out the bourbon flavor because you're not getting it in here. You're only trying to smooth the liquid out. As for the orange peel and the tart cherries, meh at best. You're getting a little bit of the tartness from the cherries, I would assume. I mean, you can also pick that up from the apple. I mean, don't get me wrong. Um, this is really good. I would probably, drink this all the time, but at the same time, I'm like, you're not really doing what you said you're doing. I mean, I'm not getting the cherries. As clear as this is, meh. But at the same time, if you know anything about that, you would have to blanch them first to kind of get out some coloring. Kind of like you have to do with blueberries. Kind of blanch them, draw out the color. Um, but with this being kind of like if it was a red cider, I would start worrying. Um, mm. It is definitely smooth. I'll give it that. It is nice, smooth. It's rich in flavor, but I'm not getting that citrus forward per se. Um, I may be picking up the tartness from the cherries. I mean, if they're going to use, I'm gonna knock on wood right here. Let me throw this out there. I mean, Angry Orchard, subsidy of Boston Beer Company. Maybe they're even using some of the leftover Balaton cherries from their American Creek. It's a possibility. Or Angry Orchard also has a connection to get some cherries from another cherry picker or a cherry farm. But with that said, I would seriously, if I had to give this a rating, I would give it a C plus. And the only reason I'm going to do that is because of the fact that it's a very good, enjoyable hard cider. But I get the smoothness from the bourbon barrels. I would have liked to actually get a little bit of a bourbon flavor with this cider. I really would. I mean, it could have still been apple forward, get a little hint of the bourbon from bourbon barrel aging. Um, Maybe even been tart forward from the cherries and kind of like a mixed drink. I mean, that's the only thing that I can come up with. A little citrus forward, a little tart, extremely tart, but extremely apple forward, and still give off that little bit of a woody bourbon flavor. Would have been perfect. Um, but the way it sits now, I get 99.9% of it is going to be apple forward. Have that smooth finish like it was aged in oak wood. So therefore, I can't digress against that. I do get the tartness, but the tartness could also um, be chalked up to what type of apples they're using. But other than that, peace, pros, deuce, and as always, rate, comment, subscribe, thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you disliked it. Hey, if you've had this, let me know what you guys think. I will be back again. Pros.